What's up, YouTube family? We are back again. So we have another one. So I have a TikTok video here that I would like to react to. Without wasting your time, let's see what this video is talking about. Let's go.
Those first 3 months when you start dating a man,
Okay.
boy, is it the best. They're doing everything for you, picking you up, taking you out, buying you gifts, treating you like you're a princess. But once those 3 months are over, that's it. All of a sudden, you're with the devil. Like, how could someone switch up that quick to the most amazing man to a nightmare? Like, boy, if I could relive the same 3 months over and over and over, I would. Because they're always on their best behavior at that time. They're always so sweet and charming. But after those 3 months, it's over. The man that you met those first 3 months don't even exist after it hits 3 months and 1 day. Like, how do men switch up that quick? Like, they were literally just worshiping you at your feet, and now they hate you. How does that even happen? Like, putting that personality on for the first 3 months and then switching up, like, yeah.
Alright, this is the end of the video. Please, gentlemen, please, I'm begging you. If you ever see this video and you are planning to spoil a woman that you just met, right? A woman that you're talking stage or whatever, and you're trying to take her to a fancy dinner, you're trying to go all out, take her to a nice restaurant and stuff like that, please, squash that plan. Only minimal effort at best, and do it respectfully. Again, only minimal effort, respectfully. And if she's not willing to put up with that, she can exit. Look, usually when I tell people to not sweat it when they're in the talking stage or when they're dating a girl, it's not even because of, oh, if she really likes you, she's gonna follow you wherever you go. It's because of this mentality that I know resides in women. Let me explain something to you, right? I have a brother from another mother. He was dating this girl, and then, we be talking. Men, we talk, sometime when we are dealing with somebody new, we be talking to friends and stuff like that to gain new perspective, especially when we see some things in that girl that are kind of different from the previous one and stuff like that. So he told me his plan, which was, don't want to get too much in the details, but he was pretty much trying to go all out, really do something really great. And I don't want to sound like I don't want somebody's son to do something great for somebody's daughter, but sometimes they're just ungrateful and unappreciative. So you have to be very careful with how you take care of the situation, or else this is the things you're going to hear 3 months later, right? So I told him, don't do all of that. Do something as simple as maybe a bowling at best, or a coffee date. Why not? You guys might hear me and hate me, but guess what though? Till this day they're still together. I guess my advice worked after all. Now, I would never cease to say that women are ungrateful, because I know your mentality. Let me ask you something. If somebody was worshiping you and all of a sudden you think that he turned against you, what do you think happened? Like, do you even ask your question why people switch up? Like, do you even ask your question? When we go above and beyond for you ladies, right, to make sure you get the best date ever, to make sure you go to the best restaurant in town, to make sure you have the best experience of your life, it's just called being a gentleman. We're being a gentleman, right? But you have to understand one thing. Most of the people you date are average earners. Even if they're millionaires, the same pattern is gonna be the same pattern. It's gonna be the same thing. Nobody can just be this nice to you continually, consistently, right? Like just spending the same amount of shit for you forever. And this is why you have a very distorted or unrealistic belief when it comes to marriage or relationship. That's why you guys struggle to stay in a relationship with men, especially in marriages, because you would see a life before marriage and think that when you get in marriage, it's still going to be the same life that's going to present itself continually forever, omitting that certain details are going to add on, which is going to potentially create more expenses like a child, sickness, whatever, right? Now, a man manage, right, to give you the best experience he can. Because, when we are courting a girl, when we are dating a girl, we really want her to have the best times. That's just what it is to be a provider, right? Putting your best personality forth. But unfortunately, in the woman brain, it is taken for granted because you guys are never put in a position where you actually provide. So you don't really know. Like, you don't know. Basically, you just sit there, be cute, and somebody plan everything and come and pick you up. And sometimes that'll go on for 3 months, and the only thing you give up is pussy, and that's if it's lucky. Like, the comparison doesn't even make sense because you don't know the details that go into planning a date. You just don't fucking know, right? Up until this point, if you think I'm bugging out, let me just switch it up a little bit so you understand what I'm trying to talk about here. Let's say you are a single mother and you have a child, right? And I'm pretty sure when you find yourself in that position, you would kill to give your child the best life, right? You would do anything you can because you know why? It's just called being a good mother. But unfortunately, life is lifing. At times, you're not going to be able to be at your best, right? Let's say if your child asks you for Jordans, got it, you do it. But in one day, let's say you do that up until a year. And then after a year, things slow down. It's just life. Life happens. Your son asks you for Jordans and you can't give him the Jordans. And then your son says, oh my God, all of a sudden you're a bad person. What happened? You were giving me whatever I want and all of a sudden you can't give me Jordans. Do you see how ungrateful that sounds? For you to turn around and dismiss everything, right? Every sacrifice, right? Every efforts, right? Think about it for a second. For your son to just turn around and call you all those things, dismissing every great thing you've done previously for him, how would you feel? This is exactly how we feel, right? Because even when we are courting you, you're not reciprocating nothing. Like, you're not doing nothing. You just think you deserve it. That is why it stops. We don't turn evil. We just shut everything off because you are ungrateful, right? Maybe the first time we take you to dinner, you'll say thank you. But the second time you think you deserve it, you don't even say thank you. Some of you don't even know how to say thank you to a man who opened the door up for you. Yes, you should say it. That's the thing. You just take it for granted because you think you deserve it. And that's the problem. Some of your daddies taught you fucking wrong. Yes, if I have a daughter, I'll teach her, look, man. Yes, I meant to open up the door for you. But after he opens the door for you, say thank you. Trust me, say thank you. It is such a nice gesture that you have to say thank you because guess what though? A million other men out there won't do it for you. So if he does it for you, that's a very great thing. It is showing appreciation and you guys motherfucking like this shit, right? You guys just think you deserve it. And you say that if you could experience the same thing over and over again, of course you do. That's why you have a roster, right? Because you know that, okay, you can only experience 3 months of goodness with a man. So you're going to get a new man. After 3 months, you already know it's going to slow down because you don't change. Think about it. Who is really the issue here? If you are dealing with 10 men, right? And you know that all these 10 men can only give you 3 months window of goodness, right? So you are the fucking issue if you really think about it. Because these people seems to me like they doing the same thing. There's nothing wrong with them because the pattern is very noticeable in all the men. But in you, something is not changing. The ungratefulness is not changing because you're very aware. Yo. One of the curses of not being a provider is this, being ungrateful. Being ungrateful. But for the women out there who are single mothers, who are forced to provide for their children, are going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. For somebody's son, especially if he's an average earner, to work, bust his ass, right? Try for 3 months to give you the best time you can have. and then you don't even reciprocate it because you don't talk about that part. It doesn't just stop, right? He put his best effort forward. Like he want to prove that he's a gentleman. Of course, he's gonna go above and beyond. Think about it. Do you think he was dealing with you on average? Do you think that man was living like that every day? Do you think he was spending like that every day? He was going above his means a little bit because now there's an extra person. And not only that, he's trying to give you the best experience, some of which he never even experienced for himself. Because if it's up to him, he would rather go to McDonald's. But because of you, he'd go to a steakhouse or something. So he spent more, all that shit, only for it to slow down. And the only thing you gave up, this is if it's lucky, is pussy. Some of you don't even cook for men. All right. Good luck to you guys, man. Yo, please, man, please. The only way you can correct this shit, the only way you can make him realize it, is make him earn it, right? Start slow. All of you guys want to go to those fancy dinners or whatever with these women. Their brain is not made to understand life that way. They're not providers. All they gotta do is sit there and look cute and they can earn a date. That's it. They don't know all the planning, all the sacrifices. They did not know that the money you spent on that date came from a 12-hour shift that you worked. They don't fucking know that. Of course they're gonna be ungrateful. Their perception of the world is on a different fucking level. They just don't understand life the way providers do because they're not born to be providers. So please start slow with them. That's the reason why I even tell men to start slow. Not because, if they like you, they're going to follow you. Of course, that's true. But the reason why I actually encourage men to start slow is because of this shit. Because their brain are just ungrateful. Like, it's not made. They have a mentality, bro, that if you don't understand, you're literally going to kill yourself every day to please these people, and you're never going to receive a thank you from them because they just think they deserve it. And it's not their fault. They're not made to be providers. So please, man, start slow with them. Give them a coffee date and bump it up slowly until they become conscious of the pattern. Make them earn the high date, the fancy date. Make them earn it. Because when you don't make them earn it and they just get it, and then when you slow it down, it's like now you rob it from them. It's like you're taking something precious away from them. That's how they see it. I think the same thing too. Think about it, right? If the first time you meet me, you just give me $10,000. Every time I'm with you, you're spending money with me. And then one day I'm with you and we're not spending anything. I mean, I'm going to feel some type. I'm going to be like, damn, what happened? Are you being crazy? I'm not going to think that the money probably slowed down, because life is lifing and things like that. Because obviously you have trained me to be ungrateful. So please, man, if nothing at all, if this video does not add any value, provide any value, if you can take something away from this value, please, anytime you meet a woman and you were dating her, don't go all out. Please, do the simplest thing you can. If she really likes you, she will follow. And if she doesn't follow you, good riddance.